What's good, everyone? It's Mata Uchiha back here with another What If. And this What If that I'm doing is going to be what if Naruto was Sung Jin Woo? Or what if he had solo leveling? And I don't really feel like going that much in depth about who Sung Jin Woo is. So if you don't know who he is, click off. If you do know who he is, hey, stay and watch. I don't really know what to tell you because I'm a little bit tired right now. I just woke up and I'm a little bored, so might as well make a what if. And for some context, I'm just gonna say Deku's parents had black hair, or at least one of them did. I'll let one of you all pick. I don't really care. Just one of his parents had black hair, and that's why he has this. And that's why he has this colored hair. Plus, like, crap. I was thinking about giving him a sister like Sung Jin Woo, but then again, I don't really know. Well, for now, I'll just say he doesn't. But if you guys want, I'll add her. I'll add her in the next part. But yeah, if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. And actually, comment if you have any ideas that you want to give me, or just general feedback. It could be good, bad. I don't really care. And with that being said, let's get into it. So, really nothing from Naruto's life is gonna change up until he goes to the land of waves. And because really right now, like, Naruto kind of looks like this version of Sung Jin Woo. So he's basically rocking this right now without the dagger. So let's skip to the land of waves arc. So no, on their way to the bridge with Tazna, Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke being Team 7. Along the way, they end up seeing a puddle, which Naruto, he just kind of ignores. Like, he sees the puddle, but he just ignores it. Kakashi pays attention to it, and Sasuke. Well, I don't really know what the Sasuke does. Like, kind of pays attention to it, but not really. So, what happens is, once they walk past the puddle, all of a sudden, two demon brothers pop out. And, Naruto, like, basically, they're all surprised, so to speak, except for Kakashi. And where this changes is, like, instead of, like, after Kakashi, quote unquote, dies, like, after that, instead of, Sasuke just protecting Sakura and Tazna, as Sasuke, getting ready to protect them, all of a sudden Naruto kind of just jumps forward and sends a couple punches and kicks at one of the brothers, and actually manages to kick one of the brothers into a tree and knock him out. And what happens, like, after that happened, like, the other demon brother was about to, like, cut Naruto, and then Kakashi came in and stopped that demon brother. So no, they tied both of the demon brothers up against the tree, and they tried extracting information out of them. Now I'm just gonna say Naruto is going to be a whole lot colder. Like, he's gonna be a lot colder in the show, or than canon, due to him not having anyone. And really, I'm like, yeah, he's basically just gonna be kind of like that, where he's just cold. Or, actually, hold on 1 second. Sorry, I'm back. So basically, what happens is Naruto and Kakashi try extracting information, and Naruto's a lot more cold and sadistic, so to speak, when he's around when he's around people he hates and or just enemies in general. He's a whole lot more sadistic and cold. And yes, I know Sung Jin Woo's not like that, but I'm just gonna say Kuruma got a little bit of influence on how Naruto acts. Because I'm just gonna make it so Kuruma sent some of his chakra towards Naruto's brain, and that basically like started altering him, making him a little very sadistic and very cold. So what Naruto does is he pulls out a kunai, and while the demon brothers are strapped up, he basically just starts torturing them to get information. And eventually, one of the demon brothers, they finally fess up because the other one died due to lack of blood, like blood loss. So the other demon brother, he finally fesses up. He's like, okay, okay, we were we were paid to come and kill the bridge builder. We were paid by Gato. All right, as Naruto's like, okay, thanks for the information. As he just stabs the final demon brother in the throat, killing him. And that whole display that Naruto did of the torture and the stabbing, heck, it even caused Kakashi to go throw up because even Kakashi didn't do stuff that was that brutal, and he was in the Hanbu. So, so basically, what ends up happening is like afterward, Naruto they all head towards the bridge, and along the way, this thick, and I do mean like thick with like four C's. This thick fog or mist would roll in, where you cannot see in front of you. Like you can barely see like 2 feet in front of you, and in this fog, all of a sudden, Kakashi would just say, "Duck!" As everyone gets down, and a huge blade would just come swooping over them and cleave right into the tree next to that. And once the blade landed in the tree, a shinobi with black hair and bandages covering his face, almost like a mask, would hop onto the blade. And immediately Kakashi recognizes him. He's like, Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist. As Zabuza looks towards Kakashi and goes, Kakashi of the Sharingan. I'm happy to see you. But I'll let you all live as long as you just give me the bridge builder. And Kakashi denies, so basically Kakashi and Zabuza start fighting with Naruto helping out from time to time as well. And where this changes and where he actually gets his power is as he's like fighting with Zabuza, Kakashi would actually get put in the water prison, like I said. But when it was Naruto and Sasuke trying to go help Kakashi, Sasuke ended up getting knocked unconscious, and Naruto he actually ended up getting stabbed through his chest with that oversized blade by Zabuza in front of everyone. Like, basically, Sasuke before he passed out fully, like he was on the way, but before he fully went, Sasuke saw it. The bridge builder saw it. Sakura saw it, and crap, what was his name? And Kakashi saw it. So they all witnessed Naruto get stabbed. Naruto's on the ground bleeding out and everything. Sakura finally gets some guts and goes and stabs Zabuza in the hand, like the hand that was holding up the water prison jutsu. So yeah, finally gets some guts and stabs him in the hand. So he lets go of the water prison. Kakashi comes out, and Kakashi starts fighting. And while Kakashi's fighting, Sakura basically kind of like drags Naruto and Sasuke over to where Tazuna is, and basically tries to give them first aid. And I mean, it's kind of working. Kinda. Like, it's only working a little, I guess you could say. Like, for Sasuke, he didn't need that much. He didn't need that much first aid, and Naruto, he needs a lot more first aid than what she can give at the time, because she only had like one of those small first aid kits that you would see on a bus. Like, if you've been on field trips, you'll know what I'm talking about. And like she only has one of those little first aid kits. So Naruto needs a lot more bandaging and a lot more help than what Sakura is giving him right now. I mean, yeah, what she's doing, it'll keep him alive for a little longer, but only for a little longer. He's not gonna stay alive like forever. He's still on a time limit, basically. And as Naruto's bleeding out, his eyes are open, and he sees this little screen pop up in front of him, and it says, "Do you want to become a player?" As he's like, "What? Like, the heck does that mean?" And then under it, it says, "Failure to answer this question will cause an immediate punishment." And he's like, what?" Like, he says it like sort of out loud, but not enough where anyone can hear. He's like, "What punishment?" As the screen changes and it says, "If you don't answer the question, you will die of a heart attack in about 5 seconds. Choose now." Or not die of a heart attack. You'll basically bleed out. Choose now. And Naruto, he's like, crap. What do I do? What do I do? And then he just says, "Okay, I accept. I'll become a player." As it goes, "All right, congratulations. Welcome, player." As Naruto passes out. And after that, I mean, same thing kind of goes kind of in canon. Zabuza ends up getting defeated. Haku comes in, hits Zabuza with those with those like needles. I think they're called Senbon. So hits him with a couple Senbon, comes in, lies, saying that he's a tracking ninja, and then just takes Zabuza and leaves. And basically what happens is, like, they go over to Tazuna's house where, there's Tazumi and Inari, or Tsunami and Inari, I can't remember what her name was. Inari's mom and Tazuna's granddaughter. Or daughter, one of the two. But basically, they patch up Naruto some more. Enough where, he is going to live. And what ends up happening is, like, while Naruto's unconscious, he actually starts to not gain muscle, but like he does get taller. Like, he does get a little taller. And basically, while he's this height, like while he's just this tall, he actually is going to be like, can't remember Sung Jin Woo's actual height, but basically Naruto's just gonna be kind of like, he's gonna be as tall as this Sung Jin Woo, not the current one, but more like when he just got his power and he was just getting used to it. He's gonna be around that height. And Naruto wakes up, and he wakes up to the weirdest thing ever. He wakes up to not only Sakura cuddling him, but he also wakes up to Sasuke cuddling against him too. And he's like, "Wait, what the hell? What, what the fuck? Like, why are these two people against me?" So he's slowly being all sneaky like. He sneaks out of the bed, and he goes downstairs. He sees Kakashi. Kakashi looks at him, and Kakashi's kind of surprised because Kakashi's like, "Bro, you shouldn't even be moving, let alone walking, talking, and just acting like everything's fine." As Naruto's like, "What do you mean?" And Kakashi goes, "Well, don't you remember what happened? Do you remember what happened earlier, a couple days ago?" As he's like, "What?" And, well, basically, then all of his memories come back of him getting stabbed and everything. So Naruto, he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna go on a walk. I'll see you guys later." And he goes on that walk, and basically, while he's doing that whole walk and everything, like while he's going on that long walk, or at least walk is what he told them, he's going to go find out more about his power. But what Naruto ends up doing is he starts like going throughout dungeons. Like he starts learning about his power, doing the daily exercises and everything. So he's gotten pretty built. Like he's starting to gain him some nice muscle mass, very compact muscles. So like he has a lot of muscles, but they're just very compact, and so he's lean right now instead of just this bulky dude. And while Naruto's doing the daily quest and everything and learning more about his power, he's also doing dungeons. Now, yes, I know he shouldn't have this, but I'm just going to give it to him now because why not? He's going to end up getting, one day he's going to go into a dungeon before they go to crap, what was it called? The, before they go to the bridge to, fight Zabuza again. Naruto decides to, do a couple dungeons, do a couple dungeon runs, and he hops in the dungeon and everything. He's fighting, and he finds this monster called, or he finds the boss of the dungeon called the Demon King or Demon Lord Baron. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I suck at pronouncing things, so yeah, I'm just going with that. Either or Demon Lord Baron. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. So, Naruto, he's like, alright, well, I guess let's do this. As he pulls out two kunai, he enforces, some wind chakra into them. And a little bit of lightning chakra, because yes, those are going to be his affinities. Wind, lightning, and yeah, for now I'm just going to give him wind and lightning. So he's going to put wind chakra into, or he's gonna put some wind chakra into one kunai, making it a little bit longer, and then he's going to put some lightning chakra into the other kunai, giving it lightning. And he's basically gonna throw hands with the Demon King. And like as he's fighting the Demon King and everything, he's sort of losing, but not really at the same time. Cause it's sort of an even fight, but the Demon King has more the advantage because Naruto didn't really have that experience from fighting. So, yeah. And also, I'm going to make it so that Naruto is 16. Like, yeah, I'm going to make him 16 now. Yeah, I'm just going to age everyone up. So, yeah, Naruto's 16 at the moment. So, when he comes back from his 3 years of training, he's going to be 18. So, yeah. So Naruto's fighting with the Demon Lord and everything. He's throwing hands with the Demon Lord, doing slashes, cuts. They're both cutting each other. And eventually, Demon Lord and Naruto, they step back from each other. And they're bloodied up as the Demon King actually starts laughing and smiling. And he's like, you want to know something, kid? In all my time of being the Demon King, I've never had a fight as fun as fighting you right now. As Naruto grins and he's like, Sam, you're actually a really good fight. You're actually a really good foe. You want to end this? The Demon Lord, as the Demon Lord gets ready and he's like, yes, let's finish this. And Demon Lord and Naruto basically just kind of charge at each other. And they both cut each other. And it's kind of like an anime where two swordsmen, they do that final slash at each other, and they do that pause before one of them drops. That's how Naruto and the Demon King was. So Demon King, his chest opens up and a whole bunch of blood splurts out, and he drops to the ground, and Naruto walks over to the Demon King, and as the Demon King's bleeding out, he's laughing. He's like, you know what, kid? You're actually quite a strong person. I hope you make it to whatever your goal is. And Naruto, he grins as he goes, well, I'm gonna be Hokage. As the Demon Lord, he laughs again. He's like, I don't really know what a Hokage is, but hey, I hope you become the Hokage then, if that's your dream. As the Demon Lord goes limp and dies. And while that's happening, something pops up on in Naruto's face. Like, something pops up on his screen, basically saying, option, job change available. Or like, job title or job change available. And it's like, do you want to do it now? And he's like, sure, I guess. And he clicks on it, and it sends him to a different dungeon from the one he was in. Keep in mind, he still has to go fight the bridge builder, and this is going to be kind of an intense fight. Like, it's really going to be, it's going to be one kind of action-packed fight. I'm going to add in a whole lot more stuff than what was supposed to happen. And basically, Naruto, he goes and fights this big red ass knight called Igris. And he's fighting the knight and everything. Knight is whooping Naruto's ass thoroughly. Like, it is, giving Naruto a thorough ass whooping. Like, when your report card comes home and your mom decides to whoop your ass, that type of thorough ass whooping where, she's not missing a beat at all. Like, she is tagging you. That's how Naruto's getting his ass beat, basically. Like, he's just getting it ruthlessly just demolished. And eventually, he actually manages to defeat Igris via a little bit of cheating and a little bit of other stuff, because he ends up throwing a couple kunai into Igris's, mask, in that little slit where you could see out of with knights, that little slit where they could see. He throws in there, hitting Igris in what I can only presume as his eyes. I don't really know. He could be an empty shell. So he hits Igris in his eyes. Igris, kind of stumbles back as Naruto punched him punches him a couple times in his chest, and then proceeds to like grab Igris by his leg and then toss him through a couple pillars. And then, once Igris goes through the final pillar, the pillar crashes down on Igris, crushing him. And then afterward, Naruto, he has to fight all these knights and necromancers and all that. And no, it's hard for him because, he is still worn out from fighting Igris. Because Igris is about, like, high Jonin level. I'm like, well, actually, no. Igris is going to be just, like, low Jonin at the moment. I don't want to make him too overpowered, but he's still going to be quite strong. And basically what's gonna happen is, like, Naruto, he's gonna be fighting with he's gonna be defeating all of these monsters. Like, he's gonna be fighting all these knights and all these necromancers and everything, and he's gonna be pretty worn out by the end of it, but he will manage to kill them. And once he's standing on top of all the bodies of all of these knights, it finally says option or your job or success. Your job has been changed. You have went from shinobi to now shadow monarch. And he's like, shadow monarch, huh? I wonder what that job does. As something else pops up in front of him, and it goes, crap. It goes like, alert, special ability gained with gaining the title of Shadow Monarch, Shadow Extraction, and Shadow Exchange. And he's like, Shadow Extraction, huh? I wonder what that does. And for those of you who know about Sung Jinwoo's powers, you know what Shadow Extraction does, but for everyone who doesn't, it basically allows him to kind of bring someone back from the dead, but not really, because, like, he's pulling out their shadow, or, like, kind of like their soul, and using it to fight. So, no. Naruto, he's like, alright, well, how do I activate it? As, like, the screen flickers again, or the screen changes again, and it goes, say arise. As he's like, alright, arise. As all the knights and everything, they all get up, and, like, all the shadows are coming out of the bodies of the knights and everything, and once they're all done, Naruto can just see a whole army of just these shadow knights and these not necromancers, but, like, wizards, I guess you could call them. I don't really know what they're called. Sorcerers? I don't know, you all tell me what they're called, I can't remember. And Naruto being worn out, he's like, alright, well, is there anything else I gained? As it's like, congratulations, you completed the daily quest. What do you want? As he's like, just like he says status effect recovery. As he heals back up and he gains all of his stamina back. And once he does that, he's like, alright, cool. So he starts moving his shoulders. He starts rotating his shoulders and everything. He cracks his neck a little, and he's like, alright, cool, I'm back to normal. As he walks over to Igris, and he just goes, arise. As it says, fail. You have two options. You have 2 tries left. And he just goes, arise. Failed. You have one option, or you have one time left. As he says, look, I don't know what happened in your life, but why are you trying to protect the throne that's empty? Let me give you something to protect. Arise. As Igris would basically, he would arise. and then bow as as it pops up. Choose a name or pick a name for him as he goes, Igris. Yeah. Your name will be Igris as it nods and then goes into Naruto's shadow where it disappears. And then, Naruto, after he's done with that dungeon where, he had to change his job, he gets sent back to the same dungeon that he was at where he was fighting the Demon King. So he walks up to the Demon King. He says, "Arise." It doesn't work. He's like, "Arise." It doesn't work again. He's like, "All right, final time. Arise." And it still doesn't work. So he's like, "No, forget it. Let's just see what he had." And he sees, like, he's looking at all the stuff that the Demon Lord had. And he's like, "All right, cool. I think I can actually use this stuff." And one thing he looks at that he sees the Demon Lord had, he's like, "Ooh, hold on, so I could actually use this weapon?" As Naruto would proceed to pick up the Demon King's longsword. And I'm not about to say what that kid does. You all can read, or at least I hope most of you can read. If you can't, I don't really know why you chose to go to me, because I tend to show photos. When I suck at describing what something looks like, I'll just show a photo of what it looks like. But basically, yeah, Naruto would basically pick up the Demon King's longsword. And now he'd pick it up, he'd put it on his shoulder. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna start using this more." As he as he walks out of that dungeon, he goes back to Tazna's house and everything, where Team Seven's outside practicing. As Naruto walks up, they all turn. They're like, "Naruto, where you've been? Where have you been?" As he pulls the long sword off his back, and he's like, "I've just been looking around, and I found this." As he's holding up the sword, and while all that's happening, like, everyone's kind of looking at him like he's crazy, because they're like, "How the hell did you get such a powerful sword?" And he's like, "I just found it. It was stuck. It was stuck in a skeleton. Like, it was stuck in a skeleton's body. So I just kind of yanked it out of the skeleton. Like, it was stuck in a skeleton's chest. So I just pulled it out of the skeleton's chest." As they all looked at him and they're like, "Where the hell did you find a skeleton at?" And he's like, "About like a mile that way." Or like 10 miles that way. As he turned, as he uh, as he points behind him. And basically, Kakashi's like, "You know what? I'm not even gonna ask. Just get ready, because we're about to go help Tasuna with the bridge." As Naruto's like, "All right, cool. Let's get this over with." And they head over towards the bridge. And when Naruto, like, he, they're watching Tasuna build, and they're actually helping out a little to get everything moving a little faster. And as they're going, what happens is, crap. What happens is a thick fog, that same thick fog from earlier, rolls in again, and they're like, "Alright, Zabuza's here. Now we have to be ready." As, Zabuza pops up again, this time with Haku. And, Naruto, he's fighting against Haku. Like, it's Naruto and Sasuke against Haku. And they're actually doing some pretty good damage against Haku. Like, they're actually managing, like, Naruto and Sasuke are actually managing to hurt Haku a good amount. And what ends up happening is, when Haku's about to do his ice mirrors, Naruto's like, crap, what do I do? Because we're about to get hit with Senbon. And he's looking at his sword, and, this little screen pops up where it's displaying everything about the sword, and he looks at it, he's like, wait, effective. He's like, wait, storm of right flames, and as he says that, a a whole bunch of lightning bolts will just come straight from, like, it was a clear day that day, and all of a sudden these these white lightning bolts are just coming flashing down, just hitting Haku many times, causing the ice mirrors to break. And while that's happening, Naruto is like, okay, never say that again without like proper training, because I may accidentally kill someone with that. Because he had to push Sasuke out of the way, or else Sasuke was gonna get hit. Because it won't hurt Naruto, but it's gonna hurt friend. Like, it's not gonna hurt the person who casted the ability, but it's gonna hurt the friends though. So no, Naruto pushes Sasuke out of the way. He runs up at Haku, and he actually stabs Haku completely through the chest. Which, no, Zabuza turns around, and he's like, huh, I guess he's finally served his purpose. And as Haku's about to die, Haku's actually tearing up and crying, and Haku, after hearing what Zabuza said, is like, Master Zabuza? As Haku goes limp and just falls to the ground and dies, as Naruto pulls his blade out, wipes the, he'll swipe his blade and the blood will come off, like, with most characters. So he'll grab both of his hands on the sword, and he'll run at Zabuza, and he'll start fighting Zabuza along with Kakashi. And he's actually he's decimating. He is just decimating Zabuza right now. Like, Kakashi wasn't gonna hit him with a Chidori, but Naruto's like, nah, let me deal with him. As Kakashi backs up again. Naruto makes Kakashi back up, so no, he backs up. Naruto's pulling out his sword and everything. They're clashing. The sword is naturally just giving off electricity without even Naruto putting any chakra through it. And I'm just gonna say that Naruto ended up getting both sides of Kurama. Like, he got yin and yang, and Kurama's gonna be a little bit nicer. Like, I'm just gonna make it so, Kurama won't have a deep hatred. Like, he'll remember how nice Kushina and everyone else treated him. But, for Hashirama and Madara, he won't really be that nice towards. But, he'll be sorta helping out with Naruto. Naruto won't have complete control of Kurama just yet. But as Naruto's fighting, Kurama decides to give some of his chakra to Naruto. So, Naruto, he goes under the influence of Kurama without going out of control. He goes under the influence and everything. He starts to get that chakra cloak. He gets the one-tailed cloak. And he's fighting against, actually, no, not one-tailed. It's just regular chakra cloak, where he just gets that red aura around him. And what happens is Naruto, he decides to put some of his chakra into the sword. He decides to put lightning chakra into the sword to boost its lightning. And due to Kuruma's chakra being out at the moment, he ended up putting Kuruma's chakra in as lightning chakra. So, all of a sudden, that light blue blade with its light blue electricity, all of a sudden, it just turned into this black blade with red electricity coming off of it. As Naruto's like, hold up, I think I just thought of a really good idea to do with this. As he's clashing swords with Zabuza, he backs up. He gets in a stance like he's ready to swing his sword. He goes, lightning style. Or he goes, lightning style. Thunderbolt slash. As he swings his blade. And for a second, they don't see anything, as they just see, for a split second, they just see a red flash. And Zabuza just gets cut on his chest. He just gets a cut across his chest. And everyone's like, what the hell just happened? As Zabuza, he stumbles back. He's like, I can still take care of you. And He goes to swing at Naruto again. Naruto ducks under the blade and cuts Zabuza. And at this point, it's starting to get a little pathetic to watch because at this point, it's a grown man desperately trying to kill a kid, and he's failing. So Naruto stabs, not stabs, like Zabuza like slashes at Naruto. So Naruto he jumps up, he hops on Zabuza's blade, like he hops on Zabuza's blade, jumps up again, which causes Zabuza's blade to go down because Naruto pushed it with his legs, like most humans. So Zabuza's blade went smack into the ground and it got stuck. And Naruto, while he's up in the air, he basically he gets in a like he starts spinning in the air. And while he's spinning, he flips himself upside down. And as he's flipping, he gets like eye to eye with Zabuza because he's going down, I might add, while being upside down and spinning. So he swings his blade and just lops Zabuza's head clean off his shoulders. It was such a clean cut that no blood came out. Like, he full on cauterized the wound and everything with that lightning. It's awesome. But afterwards, Naruto's sitting there. He looks at them and he puts his hands together as he goes, "May you rest in peace." As Naruto thinks about it for a second, and he was like, "You know what? Yeah. May you rest in peace, but I'm going to use you all for something. I hope it works, though." As, before he could do it, all of a sudden he hears a laughter. And, Team 7, they all turn, because, Sasuke did end up getting his Sharingan, the incomplete one. One Tomoe in one eye and two in the other. While Sakura, she's, still protecting the bridge builder, and Kakashi, he's not as worn out. So Team 7, they all look towards where they're hearing the laughter, and they see Gato. And Gato's laughing and everything. He's like, "Ha! See, I knew they were so pathetic. They couldn't even kill a bunch of kids and an old man. Wow, useless." As Naruto, he grits his teeth and he goes, "You take that back." As Gato's like, "Oh yeah? Well, what are you gonna do about it, boy?" As Gato snaps his fingers and a whole bunch of mercenaries come out from behind Gato. And Naruto's like, "You know what? I know just what I'll do to deal with you all." As Naruto looks towards Zabuza and Haku, everyone's like, "Why is he looking towards them?" Naruto walks towards Haku and Zabuza's bodies, and just goes, "Arise." As Zabuza's shadow comes immediately. Like, Zabuza comes in. Like, Zabuza comes back to life immediately, or he comes back as a shadow immediately. And Naruto decides to, give him the name Zabuza, and he walks over to Haku. He says, "Arise." It said, "Failed. You have 2 tries left." And he goes, "All right, fine then, arise." It doesn't work again, and he's like, "All right, look, I know that." Like, he's basically talking to Haku's body and soul, but he's like, and everyone's kind of looking at him while like he's a little insane, but he's like, "Look, I know Zabuza played you like a fool, but I won't do that. I won't be like Zabuza. I will treat you with the respect you deserve. Arise." As basically Haku's shadow comes out, and Naruto pulls out the long sword once again. He pulls it from his waist as he goes, "Alright, Haku, Zabuza, let's get it started." As Zabuza does his mist jutsu and puts in a thick fog, and Haku does an ice dragon, like does an ice dragon jutsu, and this big ice dragon will come in and just attack some people. And while that's happening, Naruto will be hitting them with, the storm of white flames, and also hitting them with the sword. And once the fog actually clears up, all the every single mercenary is basically just gone. Like they are just dead on the ground. And he's looking at uh Naruto's looking at Gato, and he's like, "So, what was that you were talking about? I wasn't gonna be able to kill you. Look around." No, Zabuza or not Zabuza. Gato, he's scared and he's looking around and he sees that all of his men are dead. So he's like, "What? What are you?" As Naruto pulls out, as Naruto put his sword up in the air and starts charging electricity into it, as he says, "I'm the demon of the leaf." As he brings his blade down and cuts Zabuza clean in half. And yeah, that's basically the Land of Waves arc, kind of basically completed because Naruto, they all found where Gato lived, so they gave the money back to the villagers and everything. Naruto was thought of as a hero for killing Zabuza, Haku, and Gato. So it was called the Great Naruto Bridge. It was called the Great Naruto Bridge, and they actually built a statue from him using the same stuff that Gato's house was made of. They basically melted Gato's house and used all of that material to make Naruto a statue. Because I'll just say Gato's house, it was made out of like porcelain and like it was made of some really smooth stone plus some metals and whatnot. So they melted all that down and turned it into a statue of Naruto holding the blade, holding up his sword in like a victory type pose, with his hand on his hip and his blade raised towards the sky. And no, the whole little like Inari incident where Inari's talking all that smack, that doesn't happen because Inari, like, Naruto wasn't at the house a whole lot, and even when he was at the house, he wasn't in the house. Like, he didn't really eat all that much during the time. Like, Naruto went and basically hunted for himself and got his own food while he was doing the dungeons, so he never really spent time at Inari's house. And no, like they all get back to the Hidden Leaf, and along the way back to the Hidden Leaf, they're asking about Naruto's ability and whatnot. And he's like, it's just the Kekkei Genkai I discovered. And then says like, let me not tell them about this, or at least not yet, not until I know I can trust them. And they're like, "Oh, cool. Well, what about the sword?" And he's like, "Well, like I said, I found it in the body of a skeleton, so I just took it." And they're like, "All right then," and they just went with it. And they all get back to the Hidden Leaf, and what Naruto decides to do is, he actually just goes to his house. Like, he literally just did that. Like, he goes to his house. He makes him some good food. He makes himself a sandwich. He sits there and he's just like, just watching TV. Yeah, watching TV. And once he was done with TV, he just read a book and went to sleep afterward. So the next day, Naruto woke up. He heard a knock on his door. So he woke up feeling a little like annoyed because he's like, "Bro, what the hell? It's 8 in the morning. Why are you waking me up?" So he opens the door, and Kakashi's there with Sakura and Sasuke, and he's like, "Hey guys, what is it?" As Kakashi says, "Well, I decided I wanted to ask you, would you like to participate in the tuning exams?" As he's like, yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I do want to participate in the tuning exams." And he's like, "All right, I just wanted to ask beforehand." And he's like, "All right, well, I'll see you guys later." And Naruto and like Naruto's about to close his door, and but before that happens, I'm just gonna make Sakura more useful and a lot nicer than Naruto in this. So, sorry, I'm back. I had to go close my window because a spider just came in, and I wasn't about to deal with that or any more of those. So yeah, I just closed my window out of fear. But basically, I'm gonna make Sakura a whole lot more useful in this, like a whole lot more useful, and they're all gonna come from like the same type of tragic backstory. Cause Sakura, Naruto, and Sasuke, I'm gonna make it so all of them don't have parents. Well, Naruto and Sasuke like originally just never had parents, but uh, Sakura, I'm gonna make it so her parents also died, just of like some random disease or something. I don't know, but yeah, they're dead. So before Naruto closes his door, Sakura and Sasuke ask, they're like, do you mind if we stay here and could we train with you? As Naruto, he looks at them, he's like, no, fine, come on. Come on in. As they walk in, they're like, wow, this is actually pretty clean, because I'm going to make Naruto kind of a clean freak in this. Like, he's going to be kind of like Levi when it comes to cleaning. Like, he will beat you if he sees even a speck of dirt. And Naruto's like, alright, well, I mean, let's go train. As Naruto goes and gets dressed and everything, and they all get ready. They head out to the training grounds, and they're just practicing new moves. Due to Naruto and Sasuke, they're going to be training a whole lot harder while Sakura's practicing her chakra natures. Because I think she, at first, had an affinity of just Earth, but over time she gained all of them. Don't know how, but she managed to, despite her never using jutsu. So I was like, alright, whatever. And what ends up happening is Naruto's like Naruto makes Sakura do training because like he basically tells her, he's like, Sasuke is never gonna love you if you stay this weak forever. So you need to do something about that. And she's like, yeah, I will. But in Sakura's head, without Naruto knowing, she says, well, but Sasuke isn't the one I want. The one I want is you, not him. And Naruto not knowing that, so Naruto just kind of turns away and keeps going and training with Sasuke. And due to their training, Sakura ends up gaining some good Earth-style jutsu, like, Mud Wall, Earth Bullet, and Earth-style Earth Gauntlets, where, she gets kind of just like rock gauntlets on her body, on her hands. And Naruto managed to fight Sasuke to the point where Sasuke actually ended up getting the two Tomoe in each eye. So what's happening or what's going to happen is Naruto taught Sasuke some more lightning jutsu, like some more lightning jutsu and some more fire jutsu. Because one day he was like, Sasuke, copy my hand signs. As Naruto does the hand signs, he goes fire style, fire dragon jutsu, as he shoots out a dragon that it it's in the fucking name. I mean, come on, you can piece together. But Naruto basically he does, like I said, like he shoots out the fireball or the fire dragon, and Sasuke does the same thing while Sakura is training. Sakura's kind of she's training her chakra natures and everything, and training her chakra control. And Naruto's actually working with her on that as well, because he's also trying to train his chakra control. So after that, Naruto goes to sleep. Like, they all make it back to Naruto's house. They all go to sleep. Naruto wakes up again to two people cuddling him, and he's like, what the hell? He gets a knock on his door. He opens the door, and Kakashi's there, and Kakashi's like, alright, come on, today's the day of the tuning exams. And that's where I'm going to leave it off. If you all like it, be sure to hit the like button. If you all have any feedback about it, hey, let me know if you liked it or not. Because I'm about to go down. I'm about to go play on my Xbox and just chill. Maybe I'll make another video later. And yeah, that'll be Maru Uchiha signing off. I'll see you guys later.